Okay, I have a new Vanguard video for today. This is going to be on my updated Nirvana Jheva deck. Of course, since it's the main deck of the series, it's gonna always get an update almost every set. There wasn't really much change with the set 9, other than that they're starting to hybridize both versions of the deck. The deck that we had that was just the plain Nirvana one with Overdress, and now the kind of newer version with the crossover dress stuff. And this deck is actually going to continue with that. Although it does kind of lean more back into the crossover dress version of things, but there's still some bits of the hybrid version in here too. At least what I could put in. Of course, we'll start off with the ride line. Now, with this deck, I actually had a bit of issues coming up with a build that I'd be satisfied with, and this is what I ultimately settled on, at least for now. I don't know, kind of had issues coming up with it this time. Of course, we got the starter, Surprise Egg. It's an Overdress starter, nothing really too special, other than it letting you draw if you go second. Reno, if it's rode upon by Rayu. Oh, you get to call a Trick Star from the deck. Rayu, when it's rode upon by Nirvana. Jheva, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, add a Prayer Dragon among them to your hand. Of course, pretty simple. And then Nirvana Jheva, discard a card. Choose up to 1 Trick Star and 1 Prayer Dragon in your drop. Call them to the rearguard circle. And when this unit attacks, counterblast 1, choose one of your other rearguards in the crossover dress state and stand it. Again, super simple. Nirvana's always been kind of simple like that. Of course, 3 more copies of the main Vanguard in the ride deck. In the main deck. So, of course, we already went over what she does. Running 1 Verena Valiente. Its Overdress materials are a Trick Star or a grade 3 or less unit in the Overdress state. Its first effect is this unit gets 5,000 for each of this unit's original dress. And then its other effect is once per turn, when the attack of this unit in the Overdress state hits, counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand, and restand it. Pretty nice. I do like that the older Verena stuff is starting to come back. The new returning card for this version of the deck, Verena Expecta. This unit's materials are a unit in the Overdress state. You can't put it on only Trick Star. And then this unit gets the original power of all of its Overdress, meaning, so for example, if you put it on Valiente, that's also on top of a Trick Star and even an Arcs. Expecta will get the power of the Valiente, the Arcs, and the Trick Star all in one. And then its other actual effect is when this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, if this unit is in the Overdress state, counterblast 1. This unit gets an extra 15,000 power and a critical until the end of that battle. At the end of that battle, put all of this unit's original dress in the drop zone. This was originally the new finisher for the Nirvana deck in set 3. And yeah, I'm glad that it's made a comeback again. That's it for the big grade 3s that I decided to put in the deck. There's none of the crossover dress grade 3s in this version. I just unfortunately couldn't find the space for them. But these 2 are here so that for when I go into Verena Arcs, I do have a way to at least make the Arcs useful. Because, well, once I use Arcs as an effect, it's kind of just sitting there as a vanilla. I want to have the Arcs able to do something besides sit there. And, well, these will help me do that. Probably my favorite Verena at the moment, Jewel Sword Equipped Garo Verena. It needs a Prayer Dragon and a Trick Star. Its only effect is when this unit is in the crossover state, it gets an extra 10,000 power for the battle that this unit attacked. When the opponent would... Oh, wait, no. And for the battle that this unit attacked, when your opponent would call cards from their hand to the Guardian Circle, they must call 2 or more cards at the same time. So this greatly helps you get rid of a lot of your opponent's cards, and if you withstand this with Nirvana Jheva, they're going to have to guard with 2 cards again, greatly reducing your opponent's hand cards, and meaning that you'll actually have a better chance striking a finished blow with either Valiente or Expecta. So that's a great way to use Garo Virina in this deck. The new Virina, which is Mirror Reflection equipped Mirrors Virina. Again, you just need a Trickstar and a Prayer Dragon to make this one. Its first effect is when this unit is placed on rearguard by Cross Overdress, choose up to 2 of your cards with Virina and their card names from your drop and put them in this unit's original dress. When this unit is in the Cross Overdress state, attacks. This unit gets an extra 10,000 power until the end of that battle, and then put an original dress of this unit with Virina and its card name into the drop and perform one of the following. Draw a card or countercharge. This was the card that Nirvana Jheva desperately needed. Because of the way the crossover dress deck works, you run out of cards very quickly, and you also run out of counterblast very quickly. Mirrors Virina fixes all of that. However, I do wish we got a Prayer Dragon instead that countercharged instead of this, but hey, I'll take what we can get with this deck. Who knows, maybe we'll get something like I'm thinking of in the future. Because, let's see. Yeah, I think they said they've got like 9 seasons or something planned for the Overdress series. Or something like that. So we've still got tons of support to go. The final of the crossover dress units is Sturdy Wall equipped Vils Virina. Again, you just need a Prayer Dragon and a Trickstar to make this. Its first effect is when this unit is placed on rearguard by crossover dress. Choose the card from your drop zone with the crossover dress ability other than itself and put it into your hand. Now, again, this card has been boosted up in numbers because we kind of want to get stuff back like the Mirrors Virina and the Garo Virina a lot more, as those are going to be our main attacking crossover dress units. And because of another card dumping crossover dress units into the drop zone, this is going to be a great way to get them back. And then its other effect is on rearguard and Guardian Circle. If this unit is in the crossover dress state, this unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. That's another great reason why I'm running a lot more copies of this Virina, as there's a lot more retiring effects in the game now, and your opponent just can't retire this guy with those effects. However, they can still try to run into it. And it also gets a permanent 5,000 power and an extra 10,000 shield, meaning when you use this to guard, it's in the crossover dress state, it's a 15k shield. Very nice, as there's also a lot of power decks going around now as well, so this is a great tool. The final of the Overdress cards in total is Virina Arcs. It's been one of the best Virina cards, period, ever since it came out in the first set of Overdress. You just need a Trickstar, and when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if it is in the Overdress state, counterblast 1, draw 2 cards, and then this unit gets an extra 5,000 power. Nice and simple. This was, again, the best of the original Overdress cards to come out, and it still is to this day. It's just so good. Of the 8 Prayer Dragons we'll be running, of course, we've got from the last updated Strike Equipped Dragon Strigalio. When this unit is placed on rearguard from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Nirvana's card name, discard a card from hand, search your deck for up to 1 card with the Overdress ability or up to 1 Trickstar, reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. Because of this effect, it's even great in the original Verena build, because it can search for any of the original Overdress cards and Trickstar. And that's kind of why I'm only running the original Overdress cards at either 1-ofs or in Ark's case 2-ofs, because they're so easily searchable with Strigallio. So you don't really need them in high copies, because this guy essentially acts as extra copies of all of them. And then its effect, when it's used as an original dress, Counterblast 1, choose a Trickstar from your drop, call it to a rearguard circle. That lets you continue to use your Verena cards. So, for example, you use this in a Trickstar to go into Garo Verena. If you have another Trickstar, Counterblast the 1, call another Trickstar, and then use that Trickstar to go into the Arcs or anything else you used to get with its first effect. There we go. There we go. That is it for Strigallio. The new prayer dragon we're using is Illuminate Equipped Dragon Galamir. This is a new one. When this unit becomes an original dress, Soul Blast 1. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 cards with Verena in their card names from among them. Reveal them. Choose up to one of the revealed cards, put it into your hand, and discard the other of the revealed cards. Oh, discard the rest of the revealed cards. So yeah, you discard the other one. So you reveal the 2, put one to your hand, and then discard the other. And if you only revealed one, well, you add that one to your hand. Or if you feel like you don't really need it, you can discard it for later. And then you, of course, shuffle your deck. He's great for deck thinning, and he's just very good. More ways to search for Verenas. This can search for all of them, not just the original Overdress ones. This searches for the cross Overdress ones as well. He's just amazing. Of course, the 4 PGs, the 3 Sparkle Rejector Dragons, and the 1 Elementara Sanctitude, of course. As this is my one of my favorite decks now. I do keep at least one of my Elementaruses in here, and the other one I just kind of switch from decks to deck. Yeah, and that's usually the ratio for the perfect cards you want to use. Well, you can only use one of the Elementarus, so yeah, there's that. Of course, we've got Trickstar. He's the main playmaker for your whole deck. You need him to go into your Verenas. And he does have an effect of his own. This unit can't be chosen by your opponent's card effects, so you can leave him on the field as a booster if you want, and your opponent can't touch him. Sometimes, if I'm like up against Gear Chronicle, I do kind of like to keep a Trickstar on the field. That way I do have some way to, or a couple Trickstars on the field, especially early on. I typically want them to go through all their spinning to the bottom of the deck before I go into an Overdress unit. In fact, that's what I've been doing in Deer Days. Usually when I use the Nirvana deck, I just let them spend all their stuff, and then I go in with their Nirvana plays and all the Verena forms, essentially making them waste a turn. But enough about Gear Chronicle, it's not important here. 3 of the non-effect criticals, 4 of the effect crits. Of course, the non-effect heals, I've kind of gone over why I'm not really a fan of the effect heals. Don't think I need to go over that again. The 4 of effect draws, you really want your pieces in this deck. I have considered running more fronts, but I feel like the draws are more important here. And of course, the final card in the deck is the Dragon Empire Overtrigger. He's very good. and it is the SP one I've had since the start of this format. And that is it for the updated Nirvana Jheva deck. I hope you enjoyed this one.